Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. Again, this is my Jason Voorhees wishlist here from Neca. They are very close of completing pretty much all the Jason figures from the movies, and they do have the video game license, which is pretty interesting. So there's a couple more characters that they could do, even though the official dispute between Sean S. Cunningham and Victor Miller is officially closed. So that means that they could regain, the license to the movies again, like with their other Ultimate figures, which is again nice. But in the meantime, while all the paperwork is getting fixed, there's a couple of obviously figures from the video game license that they could do in the meantime, which is going to be pretty cool. So in this video, I'm going to pretty much discuss with you guys pretty much what I think are going to be the next characters from the video game series. Obviously NECA released the tease that they're gonna do like the retro Jason at San Diego Comic-Con. We know now that they're gonna do the Tom Savini look. Obviously the part 8 went on pre-order a couple days ago, which is pretty cool. Again, that it is considered an Ultimate figure, although the price is a little bit less than the other figures, which is pretty cool. I think at NECA is like $29.99, which is pretty cool. But again, that figure doesn't come with a lot of accessories. And obviously soon the Pamela Voorhees went up for pre-order, the Shrine version. Now we're only missing two, the part 9 Jason Goes to Hell and the Tom Savini look. And I believe the Tom Savini look was actually shown a year or two ago at San Diego Comic-Con, but the next one obviously to go up for pre-order, I believe, is the part 9, which again I'm very excited about that figure. I know obviously these are not gonna come with the exact same accessories as they did in the movie, because again these are based on the video game license, so the proportions are gonna be a little bit different. But again, for part 8 and 9 and even 10 is not gonna matter, because obviously Kane Hodder was playing the characters in the last two movies, obviously 4 times, before getting replaced in obviously Jason versus Freddy and then the remake. But what's also cool is again Kane Hodder did obviously came back and did the video game. He was the guy behind the motion capture, which is pretty cool. That's why pretty much all the Jason have their, I guess, his physique from back in the day was pretty buff. So again, part 9 is gonna be next. That is gonna go for pre-order, and from the looks from the video game, he does gonna have a second head sculpt with like that unmasked look, which is pretty cool, pretty gruesome to see. I'm a big fan of this look, just because on how the hockey mask is embedded into his head. It's very unique. It's almost like an ingrown nail on your foot. It's been like that for years, so it's kind of like part of the the skin. And I think this is gonna be a very nice look. Again, I'm gonna be curious if this one the figure is gonna have sculpted hair on the back, because in the movie he had a few strands of hair here and there. So again, it's gonna be curious, but this is a very nice look. Obviously in the movie we didn't see him without a mask, although there's a concept out there of makeup of how his face is supposed to look, and again it's very accurate to how they recreate that in the video game. So that's gonna be very exciting. Also curious to see how many weapons this one is gonna have, because I believe the Jason Takes Manhattan only had like an axe, again with the recent pre-order from NECA. So this one's gonna be interesting. Probably an axe as well, although in the video game they have a different array of accessories, so who knows, we may get even like an accessories pack that have like different accessories. So that's gonna be very interesting. Again, cannot wait. But obviously the next choice would be Jason X. There's 2 versions of that Jason that they could do. And again, after they release the Savini look, the Tom Savini look, which is pretty cool. Again, this one I believe was like an exclusive skin at one point. I know some people were actually selling the skin for a lot of money on eBay. I remember that. I thought it was pretty crazy. But again, this one is very cool, obviously inspired by like Jason Goes to Hell look, at the end of the movie when he gets dragged in hell. This is pretty much him being in hell for like I don't know, a couple of years, and then he's kind of has that demon look with the fire in his eyes. This one is gonna be cool because it's gonna have like two head sculpts and a mask look, which is very nice. Kind of looks a little bit like in between part 4 and the remake, that look. which is pretty cool, again with like that lava effect inside him. He also comes with like that pitchfork of death, or whatever you want to call it, that trident. But again, going back to Jason X, I think that's a no-brainer, since again that skin was part of the game. Again, I'm not sure if in the game you have both versions, like the Uber Jason and like the regular skin, but I know for a fact that the Uber Jason was in the game, so that's pretty cool. Again, it's a very unique design, because usually, you know, we don't see Jason with like a metallic armor. So again, I know Jason X, a lot of people don't like that movie. It was the first time that, you know, I got introduced into the Jason franchise, you know, into the movies. This was my favorite Jason movie that I watched as a kid. I remember I bought the VHS for like $5 back in 2004. I was like freaking out, because it was one of the first VHS I ever bought, you know, from a video store. And again, the movie, it is what it is, not the best one. Again, they kind of ran out of ideas, but again, I think they did this one in the meantime, because I know back then, obviously Freddy vs. Jason, you know, they were still working on ideas to incorporate that, so they made Jason X, you know, in the meantime. But again, in the game, he looks pretty dope right there. You have that, obviously. This one, I'm actually curious to know how the articulation are gonna be, especially on the you know, metallic robotic look, because one side he has the suit, and on the right side he has all the metallic you know, parts. Also, it's gonna be interesting to see if we're gonna see a removable mask on this one. I know obviously in the movie, he kind of, by the end of the movie, when he kind of crash landed on Earth, he lost his mask. So there's like a ripped mask that you see at the end of the movie. But I believe there was a concept in the game where you see him without the mask. But again, this one is cool. And obviously in the movie, Kane Hodder had some special contact lenses to make his eyes very like demon-ish. Also, it's gonna be interesting. Obviously, in the concepts, again, I'm not sure if this is from the video game or what. But it looks pretty cool, almost like has like a T-800 endoskeleton look right there with the mouth. So I think it's pretty cool also on how the mask attaches, you know, to his head, almost like a star design. So yeah, this one is gonna be cool. But the next one is gonna be a no-brainer. It's obviously gonna be a Tommy Jarvis. I know the actor who played him in Part 6 back in the 80s went back and actually you know, did his lines in the video game, which is pretty cool. So having a figure, which actually he looks just the way he did in Part 6, Jason Lives. You know, he had that like blue you know, coat with that with the fur color, so that's pretty cool. So I think this one is gonna be you know, very nice to see in figure form, because usually with all the other Ultimate figures other than Pamela Voorhees, this is gonna be a cool addition. You know, have like a nemesis to Jason. So this one, I think, is a no-brainer for Neca. You know, we can have like even like a removable jacket. They did that in the past with like Dr. Loomis, where you kind of pop the armors off it and remove the jacket. Maybe have like a, you know, shirt underneath. You can have like different accessories like shotguns and pistols and machetes and whatnot. So I think this is just a matter of time, you know, before Neca does this guy. I'm also gonna be very excited. So I think honestly, we're gonna have probably more news this summer at San Diego Comic-Con in regards to what Neca is going to do next. But it's gonna be very interesting. I'm crossing my fingers that we're gonna see more releases from them from the Friday the 13th, especially now that we're gonna have a brand new movie. I mean, Sean Cunningham just you know, said a couple days ago, I believe it was Friday, you know, for Friday the 13th, he said that there's a script ready. So now I believe they're looking for like a filmmaker, a director, you know, to do that movie, obviously. And also the Crystal Lake series is going to release soon, so that's gonna be pretty cool. Hopefully, you know, it's not gonna be the script is gonna be very good, I hope. You know, it's not gonna be any bullshit with that. Please, no more wokeness in you know, in series or movies, because this is pretty much destroying Hollywood. Again, that's just my opinion. So yeah, I'm very excited to see what obviously Neca is cooking. So yeah, I would like to know, obviously, guys, in the comments below, what you think about you know, the potential characters that Neca could do from the Friday the 13th. You know, if they are getting the license back, are they, you know, will they release more Jasons from the other movies? I mean, also it's gonna be cool if they could continue like the Choro scale line, I mean, I would definitely want a part 3 Jason in Choro scale. Part 7 would be kick-ass. You know, part 8, part 9, hell, make them all the sack Jason, because the only Choro scale that we have in the recent years is the part 4, which is obviously a little bit overscaled. I think that thing is a little bit too tall, and back in the day there was like a part 7, which is now, if you put the part 7 that they did back in the day, you know, alongside the you know, the Ted White Choro scale from part 4, they don't look great together, because obviously the new part 4 is way too big for that. But again, more Choro scales, you know, when it comes to Jason's, I think is gonna be a very cool additions. And they could also continue like doing diorama pieces, kind of like what they did back in the day with like the whole dock. You know, they could do maybe more diorama sections, you know, from the movies, more weapons that Jason had. You know, that would be interesting to see. I think fans, you know, are gonna be thrilled to see what Neca is cooking, including myself. So again, I think, you know, at San Diego Comic-Con in a couple of months here, we're definitely gonna see more of Jason out there. I'm definitely excited to see, and also excited to see what the new movie is gonna be about. Again, let me know, guys, in the comments below. Are you excited about the new movie look? I'm definitely am, because again, last time we saw a Jason movie was back in 2009. I remember I saw that movie as a kid. I remember that scene with the dog. Kind of scared me. Again, I think I went to the bathroom, and as I was walking out of the theater, you know, that dog kind of jumped on screen and kind of scared me for a second as a kid. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more content. Have a great day, guys. See you soon on the next video.